I offer my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our dearest Swami, and thank you for this opportunity to share my experiences with Swami, the omnipresent Sai. And before I was born, my family was into a Sai fold. Actually, my dad, before his marriage, it was in the early 60s. I think it may be 61 or 1960. He was a highways engineer, and he was working as junior engineer in Ooty. And my grandfather, he's a forest veterinary officer. He is a veterinary doctor specialized in forest animals. He was taking care of elephants and tigers in Mudumalai. So he visited Ooty and staying with my dad. At that time, Swami was in Ooty. And just out of the blue, my dad told my grandfather, some sannyasi called Sai Baba is here, we can go and see him. So that's the first time they went and saw Swami. On the very first time itself, Swami talked to my grandfather and told him, come to Parthi. And then he visited Parthi, and very frequently he started visiting Parthi. And he is the one who brought Sai Gita to Swami. His name is Dr. S. Gopalan. And then he also materialized a watch exactly at the same moment. You can say there is no fraction of a second or anything. Exactly at the same moment when my younger brother was born. So that is the time my grandfather, Swami materialized a watch for my grandfather. And then he also materialized a Panchaloka ring for my grandfather with Shirdi Sai on that at some other time. I was too small and I just don't know much details. They used to talk about these things. So it was like every day, like a broken record. My grandfather used to tell us, do good, be good, see good. And in Tamil, he would say, Janangalukku seva pannum, serve the people. So that is the every day, even if he yells at us, he will tell us, do good, be good, see good, like that. And he will force us to sit for budget every day. All the street children along with us, all my friends, he will call us, force us to sit and sing bhajans every day. So it was like a forced this thing thrust on us, on Swami. And he will get up in the morning 4:30 and chant Omkar and things like that. And of course, in the final moment of his when he was dying, his final words were Ram, Ram, Ram. So that is how devotional he was, and he's the one who started the Sai Center in Parayangutai. So fast forward, I was growing up and I was devoted, but still when I came to college and after that starting at work, I saw some news about wrong news about Swami in the newspaper and magazines in those days in India, and I was going against Swami. Even I was working in Suzuki Motorcycles, and some of the members there were Sai devotees, and I mean, hearing that my name is Sai Chellapah, they come enthusiastically and ask me, oh, you are Sai devotee? I still regret for that, but I used to tell them, I am not a Sai devotee, my grandfather is a Sai devotee. So that's how little bit I was going away, but Swami has his own way of bringing me back in. And after that, after we came to US is where the real personal connection happened with Swami, is after coming to US and then attending the retreats. That's where I felt and Sai centers, of course, that real love and all those things happened after coming to US with the personal connection. We started going to the Sai center because our daughter loved singing bhajans. Every week she will practice a new bhajan and sing, and the love from as the members of the Sai center, that's all brought us together back again. And so fast forward, coming to my personal feeling of omnipresent Sai is 2012. I'll just start with that recent ones to save some time. Is 2012 we did the first medical camp in Des Moines, Iowa. And my wife Rama Devi went through different churches asking different pastors whether we can do a medical camp, and they were all saying no, 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 and one after other. And finally, after 5 or 6 churches, one of the church pastors said, okay, you can do a medical camp here. So we did the very first medical camp. They all felt the love. It was like on a hot summer day, the first sip of lime juice, like one of the speakers used to say, it gives us such a blissful experience. That is the blissful love. Everyone felt it from the church group and everything. So after 1 p.m., the medical camp was done, and we were cleaning up, a couple of hours clean up, and then we were sitting back and talking with the pastor. Just out of the blue, the pastor was saying, the kids don't listen at all. So there is an after school program in the church, and the kids, they bring the kids from the street in order to, just to avoid them running around in the streets. They bring them in, engage them in some spiritual activities. So he said that these kids don't listen at all. And then I just told him, I'm a SSC teacher. I teach human values for our children in our Sai Center. So if you're okay, I can teach them human values. Just out of the blue, this conversation happened at the end of the medical camp. He then arranged a meeting with the board members. So this was on a working day on Wednesday. He arranged for a meeting with all their board members. It was during office time at 2 p.m. I took off and came and gave a presentation, me and my wife. One of the board member was very rude, and she started thinking, what's the catch? Repeatedly asked us, what's the catch? What's the catch? And I said, there is no catch for us. I teach values. We don't have anything. We don't collect money. We don't preach anything. But still, they were asking too many questions. At one point, I also written back in a rude way saying that, see, your pastor called me. I came to present. If you want to need to do it, that's fine. If you don't want, that's fine. So I was just blunt and wanted to close the conversation. And then she asked me, so I asked them, so what time do you engage the kids? And they said it is Wednesday, 2 p.m. And until then, I was under the impression that it will be a weekend, because all our SSA activities are happening on a weekend. So I thought that this will be a weekend, and that's why I was conversing with them. They said Wednesday 2 p.m. and I'm the managerial person. I cannot set a wrong example by coming on every week working time out of office to teach the children. That gave me a shock, and I told them, oh, I'm sorry. I just cannot do it on a weekday. I'm extremely sorry for taking your time. So we are done, and that's the end of the conversation. We packed up and we came out of the church. This happened on a Wednesday, 2 to 3 p.m. was our discussion. So then Thursday morning, I go to the office. I open the computer. The first email was from my president of the company. He said that our company is starting a CCORP program. It's Corporate Community Outreach Program. Whoever wants to volunteer in the community, come forward. The Thursday morning, the very first email from our president, how do you, it's just a Sai incident. I came back from a meeting on a Wednesday evening, and Thursday morning, the first email from our president says that we are starting a CCORP program. Then I told my boss that I wanted to go and volunteer on a weekday. He was very happy that somebody from his department is going to do it when the president is calling for a program. And so everything was, it was a very smooth happening. He just told me that my activities in the office should not be affected, which was very, and Swami took care of those things too. And so I was doing this, teaching values for those kids. It's such a beautiful happening, and we were doing it for a few years until the pandemic. Earlier I was doing it for higher grade kids, and then I thought it would be easy for me to manage the lower grade kids. So it's called as Kids Haven. So we also do food service in the same church. So I approached the director, and they allowed me to do it in the smaller grade kids. And these children are born with drugs. in their mom's womb, and both the parents are in jail. It's such a type of children. It's very hard to explain to them about truth and right conduct. It's just we cannot talk about God in that settings too, and we just talk about values, human values, songs, and all those things, and games, like engaging them. So it's very hard to talk about spirituality or make them realize about truth or right contact, and because their atmosphere and their home atmosphere is not that conducive. Still, I was just teaching them whatever I could. And so one day, one of the Wednesdays, that's where in my life, in all my personal experiences, Swami takes to the edge and then comes to the rescue. In the sense, it's not that he's making me stronger and making me realize that he's the doer, and he's making sure that everything is taken care. He always takes me to the edge. So one of the days, it was a very tough day at the work, and the machines were not working, and so much problems. At the same time, at Wednesday 2 p.m., I had to come for this class too. So I was frustrated, and I was driving, and I was coming to the church to teach the kids. I was parking the car, getting out of the car in a frustrated mood, and I was telling within myself that let me first say it in Tamil, because that's how I was conversing with my internal Swami, and then I'll translate it. ஏதா சுவாமி, நான் வாரம் இங்கே வந்து படம் காமிச்சிட்ருக்கிறேன். இந்த பசங்க என்ன புரியுதோ தெரியலையோ. I was saying every week I'm coming here and showing off, but I don't know what these children are understanding. I'm just doing it for my show off. That's what I was in a frustrated mood talking to Swami. And I'm just entering the classroom. I was just putting one step into the classroom. One child loudly raised her voice and told me, "Mr. Sai, I felt so happy last week." Then I asked her, how did you feel so happy? Because last week I gave them a homework that this whole week you speak the truth and come back and tell me, what do you feel? So as soon as I just put one step into the classroom, she started happily telling me in a loud voice, saying that, "Mr. Sai, I felt so happy." That immediately Swami answered me that this program is worth doing it for me. I'm not really doing it for show. So I felt, I could feel that omnipresent Sai in that instant after taking me to your edge. So same thing on that previously in that same medical camp, because that was the first medical camp. We were learning a lot of things. We are doing all the logistics. So we have to, for different doctors and different specialties, we have to do a booth and all. We were trying to set it up. I went to a party rental and asked for these pipes and drapes, and they said they'll charge me $700 for renting it. So we thought that $700 is too much, and I was trying to use my engineering skills and come up with something cheap. I was working on it for 2 months, back and forth, taking measurements, keeping up this idea, that idea. And Saturday is the medical camp. Until Thursday, I could not come up with anything. So Thursday, I tell my wife, I'm just annoyed. I'm just going to pay that $700, get the drapes. Again, frustration, disappointment. I take the car, take a flyer of that medical camp. I just go to that pipes and drapes company. I was rude with that manager too. I told her, see, I showed her the flyer and told her, this is the medical camp. We are doing it free of cost. We don't collect any money. We are a voluntary organization. And all those things. I said, whatever discount you can give. I was not asking them in a pleading manner or anything. I just told them, because earlier they said there is no discount. Then she said, okay, please wait. Went inside, talked to somebody, and then came back and said, okay, I'll give it to you for $140. I don't know what happened, but from $700 all the way, they came down to $140, and for more than 5 years, they helped us with the same rate. Until they were in business, they gave us continuously for the same rate, and they used to freely deliver it and take it back. So that is how the omnipresent Sai took us to the edge, and then solved us the issue. It was you can feel the omnipresent Sai after he takes us to the edge. So one more thing is the one of the Caucasian, he's a religious professor in a community college in Des Moines. So he came to the Hindu temple, visited, and he brought his students. Uh, Coincidentally, I happened to be there, and the priest told me to give them a tour. So I gave them a tour, and then he asked me whether me and my wife can come and give a lecture in their college. And that became a rule. Every semester he allocates one class for us. So once, 2 or 3 times a year, we go to that college and talk about Hinduism and mostly about Swami's values and all those things. And unfortunately, their textbook talks all the wrong things about the Hindu religion, about the dowry and all those things, which has nothing to do with religion, but that's how the textbook was written by a different, it was not written by an Indian author, and that's the textbook they follow. So repeatedly we have to tell them that's not the real core principle of Hindu religion, and Hindu religion is this much, and this is the values we follow. And repeatedly myself and that teacher have big arguments, and I have invited him to the Sai Center. He has come to the Sai Center, he has joined the study circle, and every time it will be a big argument between the Sai members and him for all the wrong reasons. And but still he calls us to come and give a lecture. Somehow for 5 years we have been doing it repeatedly, every time argument, every time we go, and every time he calls us. On the 5th year, the last argument, I told my wife, we are done with him. We have tried enough, we are done. There is no more, we are not going there anymore. He doesn't get it, so there is no point in going, and we are done with this. I told that to my wife, and next day morning, he called me. And he said, Sai Baba came in my dream, and he's my God. We don't know what happened, what Swami told him, we don't know. I didn't ask him, he did not elaborate that. But from that day onwards, he regularly, every week, he comes to our Sai Center, and he sings Shiva bhajans, Shankara bhajans, Subramaniam, all the Sanskrit bhajans he started singing in a perfect manner. And then he has Swami's picture in his classroom, and he tells all the students that he is the real God. So that is the miracle what Swami has made for him. And so how Swami times it is 2 weeks before this happened, we in our Sai Center, we decided that we will have one mandatory Sarvadharma bhajan and one mandatory English song in all our weekly bhajans. So 2 weeks after we made that decision, he is sending a non-Indian to our Sai Center, a Caucasian to our Sai Center. So how it's only Swami who can time this in a perfect manner, where we put one step in our Sai Center, and he also takes us to the edge and brings a spiritual seeker to our Sai Center. So that's how Swami has been, the omnipresent Sai has been felt in our life. So then in one of the SSC classes, one new, I was teaching group 2 at that time, and one new kid joined the class, and all the Indian children's in the SSC, and she's also Indian. But thing is, she's totally new to the Sai Center, and they did not have a full feeling, or they were not understanding the discipline and things like that. So mom used to drop, and exactly at 5 o'clock, as soon as the SSC is done, she'll be just waiting in the corridor to immediately take her and go to the next party or something. And that child, she very openly talks that I love beat and all those things. So my judgment with that child was very low. My God, she's like this, and that is she's the only child who doesn't call me uncle. She calls me Sai. Like in the USA, they call the teacher by name. In schools, they call the teacher by name. So I was also okay with that, and I felt proud that at least one child is calling me my name. It was okay. And she talks about everything like non-vegetarian, and how the food she likes, and she wants to go for a party immediately after this class, all those things. So my judgment on the child was little low, and Still, I was doing my duty and I was treating everyone equal, but internally, unnecessarily, my judgment was a wrong judgment, which I should not have done. So one light meditation at the beginning of the class, everyone, I tell them to sit quiet and we put the Swami's meditation, focus on the light. And she was wiggling and giggling on that particular meditation. Then I had to, after the meditation was done, I raised my voice and told her, you cannot be like this. You have to focus on the meditation. You have to be disciplined. I was telling her. Then she told me, no, the person in the picture, he came to me and said that I have to be a good child. And that really shook me. Swami has personally has come to her out of the picture and gave manifested to her and as a friend. And then she was a wonderful child and she got fully involved in the SSC. And even after she went out of SSC, her dad texted me once and said that my child wanted to tell you that she's still following the values and she's feeling better. Because once we talked about how to convert negative things to positive, she specifically mentioned that and said that that is helping her a lot. So that's how Swami takes care. We are not the doer. We just keep doing what we can do. He taught me so many lessons when I was teaching the children, both in after school program and in SSC, through the children, how I have to behave and how I have to have complete surrender, just do my job. And he's the one and the results are in his hands. He's the ultimate doer. And I thank Swami for this opportunity. And thanks a lot for the media team to giving me an opportunity to share my experience. Jai Sai Ram.